Welcome to the channel, Word MMA guys. Today, we're coming at you with MMA news. So first off, we're going to be talking about a stupid statement from Dean Thomas with a stupid take that he's got. Going to dive deep into that. Then, Charles Olivieira situation is, talking about everyone's ducking him and then not accepting the Gamrot matchup. We're going to give our thoughts on that. And then Diego Lopes, who's throwing himself at the wolf. We'll be discussing that matchup. And this is going to be it. So first thing first, we'll dive with the Dean Thomas situation. So I'll read the quote from Dean Thomas. He said, PFL got Datchekova, who's a star. And he's like,
yo, please listen. If you guys like MMA, do this for MMA. Trade to the UFC. You know she belongs in the UFC. Just trade. Listen, get rid of Ankalaev. In the UFC, trade for Ankalaev. We don't need Ankalaev, man. We don't need the greatest light heavyweight of all time. Yeah, okay. What is this? Who is this guy?
This guy is like a desk analyst who fought BJ Penn back in 08. This guy is talking like, I feel like this is such a stupid thing. This is one of those, hey guys, I'm like you. I love Alex Pereira as well. Get out of here, man. We don't. This is the stupidest take of all time. Oh yeah, let's get rid of the guy that's the 205 champion and bring in a woman PFL fighter because she had a good fight against an ex-UFC fighter not that long ago. This is stupid. This is moronic stuff. I don't know why Dean Thomas is like. How can you say that as a UFC employee? How can, as a UFC employee, an ex-UFC fighter...
He should be removed from the place he is right now. Mm-hmm. This man is an important guy in the UFC. People are talking to this guy during fights, asking for this man's analysis. And now you're talking to me about PFL got Dakota Datchekova. Who is Dakota Datchekova?
Yeah, she's a G, though.
She's a G?
She's a G.
Okay. I
she's
bet
not
she's a G.
though.
I bet she beat Alex Pereira, completely shut him down at 205. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. I bet she's that of a G, man. Like, come on. Dean Thomas should be removed from his job. He should. This is horrendous. This is absolutely absurd coming from a man that is important in the UFC. I don't know what's going on with the UFC nowadays. There's some big problems, and this guy is I don't know what he is, the feminism representative something. I don't know what. I don't know how much money he had to be saying this stuff. I don't know. What is this? This is absolute bullshit, and he should be removed from the place he is now. Genuinely, this is bad for business. And him talking about PFL like this, Dakota Datchekova, no offense, but we have Big Ank, man. We have Big Ank, and then like, this is absurd.
Yeah. Like, we have Big Ank who's been training with Lucas Tracy this time, putting in the work. And then you have Dean Thomas talking like that about him. I don't know what's happening there. But anyway, we'll just leave it at that for now. We're just trying to hate on Dean Thomas with very good reason. Yep. Because this is stupid stuff. This kind of statement should never be said, especially when the pay that hits your account every week or 2 weeks there's UFC on it. You don't talk about PFL people like that. You talk about UFC and you represent the UFC. You don't shit on other fighters, okay? And that's that. Now, the big topic. Charles Olivieira avoiding Mateusz Gamrot. What do you think about this?
What do I think about this? Listen, I woke up this morning depressed when I heard this news. I don't know what Charles is doing. I don't know what's going on again with Charles Olivieira. This man is talking about he will fight anyone, anywhere. I don't matter, Rio, anywhere. Brother, this is Mateusz Gamrot. This is not Arman Tsarukyan, bro. Like, how is he not accepting that fight? It just... I can't wrap it around my head. I just can't make my mind to it. Like, what's going on? It's a completely different from the style I've been training for the last month or two. It's about understanding and game planning. What? This is Charles. You're Charles Olivieira, buddy. You're not like you're not some guy that needs 2-week training camp. I don't know what's going on with Shuto Box and all these ways that they're game planning now. Like Charles Olivieira game planning. Yeah. What is this? Like, come on, man. This is absolute nonsense. Again, it will be an awesome matchup for Gamrot.
For both of them.
For both of them, of course. But, I mean, the matchup sounds awesome to me. It's a great matchup, and it's a very winnable fight for Charles. But if he doesn't believe in it like that, make the fight happen. And I want Gamrot to win. This is crazy.
Yeah. So he said the first thing that he was talking about, Charles got very mad started chirping at every lightweight because it was like, when the UFC calls, what did he do? So, no, I got a bellyache. I broke a finger. You know, he says it's not a good look. Like, the people are docking him. And then Gamrot took it to Twitter right away, and he said, respect. You know, I told the UFC, respect Charles do Bronx. I told the UFC straight, I want to face you in your own house. It will be a true masterclass on the ground, ready to prove it. So he volunteered himself. He's within the top 10. It's a fight that makes sense for a comeback fight, especially coming off a brutal KO loss. And Gamrot's a guy with no heavy KO power. This is the kind of matchup you should get right now. He's a heavy pace. This is a 5-round fight, and he has no training camp right now. This is a great matchup. This would make for a great fight. Gamrot, he had no control on the ground, but he has very good entries. You know, that would make for a lot of guillotine type of choke attempt for Charles. On the ground, he'd be able to scramble very well, but the scramble would be crazy between both of those guys. I think this is a phenomenal matchup. And now we have Charles talking about Gamrot's a good matchup for me in a sense because he's a wrestler, grappler. But it's completely different from the style I've been training for the last month or two. Okay. Well, how are you going to chirp at people and then say something like that? Like, how are you going to get mad at people for not accepting a fight against you? Was the most submission in the UFC or everything. But then you're going to get scared of Gamrot because he's a grappler with no control on the ground and who got 0 finishes? What are we talking about here? You know? Say he's worried about my style. You had full training camp. You're talking about it's a different style than you've been training to for the last month. He hasn't even been training. This is not equal. You're in a favorable position compared to him, even without the matchup. And
it is evident that Charles Oliveira is ducking Gamrot, and the 155 situation gets nowhere near a better place with this. Again, this is like Gaethje talking about, I need a title shot, and now Charles Oliveira talking about, well, man, I can't fight Gamrot, dude. Dude, this is Mateusz Gamrot. This is not Armin Tsarukyan who's been offered to you, buddy. What are you talking about here? This is nonsense, absolute nonsense. Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, these two men can retire anytime. Doesn't matter, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the situation is bad, and it's nonsense.
They're getting older, plugging up the division. You know, it's like, what do we do with those guys at this point? I don't even know, to be honest. But I think that would be a phenomenal matchup. Hopefully, Charles could go back and instead of refuse the matchup, maybe he could go. And yeah, he should accept it. I don't know who else is gonna. Oh, actually, I know who else volunteered.
The cowboy, man.
Diego Lopes against Charles Olivieira. Now, it's not a proper necessarily call out, but he said he's open to fighting. He said, of course, I'd fight Charles. Why not? He's a legend. You know, said in a respectful way, everything. He's coming off a fight not that long ago where he did take some damage. Not as much as Gene Silva did, but he took some level of damage. And I think that would also be a phenomenal Marauder fight. But, like, I don't see how Charles will accept this matchup because Diego Lopes has a very, very... He has so much power at 45, and at 55 he would have so much power again. The power from 45 to 55 has always translated. And now he's fighting... And now he's ducking Gamrot. Do we think he's going to fight with Diego Lopes?
Absolutely not. He should not accept that fight. This is the biggest Sliderman skill we're talking about here. This is like if Gene moves up, Diego moves up, Mosvar moves up. These guys cannot move up, man. I'm telling you, because the 155, they don't want to see these guys. And if Charles doesn't accept the fight with Gamrot and accepts a fight with Diego Lopes, guys, if Diego Lopes was to go in there with Mateusz Gamrot, I think he's clipping him in the second. Genuinely, I think he's putting him out in the second or third round. Like, not easily. I think Gamrot can definitely take Lopes down. And I think Charles can cause some problem for Lopes in the first round. But, man, can Diego Lopes cause some big, big problems to all the 55ers out there right now. and I'm not even joking. This is next level, and I think Charles would ultimately lose that fight. I think Diego would come out on top, and he might get a finish. Honestly, with the KO he just got.
Is that your prediction if that fight happens?
Of course, absolutely. I truly believe that Diego Lopes would put out Charles Oliveira in a fight.
I was just gonna ask you what's your take on that fight if it happens.
That's
so
my
okay,
take, man.
so that's your take. So
Yes,
Diego
sir.
by KO.
Yep.
I'm not so sure. I would in this current moment. Yeah, at this current moment, I would probably favor Diego, although he has no camp.
But he just comes out that gene.
And he doesn't have a big cut at 55.
Exactly.
I would probably go. I think I might go Diego as well. I might go Diego. I think Diego has that like life-changing putting you out power. He does have some very, very big thud. It's not thud anymore. It's straight power. And I don't know if Charles, coming off that big knockout loss, I don't know how he do. I do think that if he goes with a grappling heavy approach, he could tire him out slightly and then go for a fight. But this Charles, Charles a berserker. We have to assume Charles is gonna fight like a berserker, and I think Diego can get him for sure. But that would be a great matchup.
It's a phenomenal matchup, and it's a matchup for the ages. It's a legendary matchup that hopefully we're gonna get. If it comes down to Lopes or Gamrot, I would prefer Lopes, but I do really respect the fact that Gamrot presents him in order to fight right now, so they can give it to Gamrot as well. But Charles ducking right now, this is a horrendous situation, and it shouldn't happen. So if Diego steps in there, he can knock him out clean.
Yeah,
no problem.
I think this is to be it, especially with Charles being 37 years old right now.
The level at which he's currently competing, I don't think Charles can beat Lopes.
Yeah,
honestly.
But I think a matchup with I'm honestly more in favor of a matchup with Gamrot. I think that is a perfect stylistic matchup for his comeback. Win or lose, Gamrot's a gamer. His Twitter name is literally Gamer MMA. That's crazy. But yeah, he's like he's really always ready to fight. He always takes those fights. He always presents himself with these short notice fights, and he's always asking for big matchups. And Gamrot's really out there trying to save this division.
He's out there trying to make 55 great again.
Yeah, and these guys are just, oh no, I don't want to fight this guy. This guy's a wrestler, but it's like he's a chain wrestler. He's not gonna hold you for 5 minutes every single round, especially with the scramble ability of Charles. He can't hold Dan Hooker to save his life. He can't hold none of those guys. He couldn't even hold like Ludovic Klein. He's not gonna hold Charles Olivieira, and it's gonna be dangerous for him when he's on the ground. Charles could get one of those signature submission, like a crazy armbar, a triangle, something like that. This is very live in a matchup like that, especially with no training camp. I think this is a fight where I would slightly favor Charles. I would think Charles could be like a minus 150, minus 170 favorite kind of range, and I think I would agree that he'd win that fight, especially with no training camp. But yeah, this is I don't know what's happening. I think this is like maybe Charles' last fight if he loses, and so he doesn't want to go out this way. But then if you're gonna duck a Gamrot fight, which is you're not gonna get KO'd fight, and you're not gonna get subbed either. This is going to be worst case a dominant decision. Who are you gonna accept the fight against then? I'm confused. Who did he want to fight? I don't see it here.
In front of your own crowd as well at Rio, man. Like,
yeah.
What is this? Like, come on, man. I think this is absolute BS, and it should be called out by the UFC. I think UFC should call Charles and say, "Hey, buddy,
you're accepting
we're getting you one of the biggest fight night. It's a fight night, right?
Yeah, in Rio.
In Rio. Charles Oliveira in Rio.
This is.
What do you think the stadium's gonna look like? Listen, what do you think the favela's gonna look like that night? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to respect the people to a certain point. The fight is in 1 month, buddy. You need to accept someone.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is a perfect matchup, but we'll see how it goes. So
that's it for us.
This is what we have for you guys. So make sure you comment. This is a bit of a short video. You know, we got a couple more coming this week. I got a prediction video coming this week as well for the Dominic Reyes versus Oldberg Pert card. So we'll look at that. And yeah, so
thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to that channel as well so that you're always there when we post a new video. And until next time.